test something. Make sure my mod works. Put this up here. Ay. I think I can still use the same scenario even though I made the changes. God, freaking snakes are coming out at me. Timing changes. That damn tab key again. Now we're gonna get this baby started up here. last time I went over there to recycle this thing, I mean, it only took like 1 unit of oxygen. Oh, the first thing we're supposed to do is get our... That's right, we've got to get our sodium hydroxide going. And I don't remember, it's 5 units. Actually, I think I can look here. You know what? Well, so, all of the drills now require sodium hydroxide. Oh, did I split that? I didn't make the sodium hydroxide yet, did I? Shit. Maybe that's a synthesis. Yep, right here. Why the hell did it just die? This cable might be in the way. So we can make sodium hydroxide, but we're going to need water to do it. And it doesn't have to be recycled water. Is there a toilet here? Oh god. I thought I had a toilet on this fucking thing. I got no shitter. Well, that's not good. Do I got another way to make water? Shit. I don't think so. Why is this thing dying? I wonder if my... They don't need to be dirty, clean. Oh, you know, it could be because of lack of material, lack of soil in the area, too. Anyway, that's our... So I only get 4 sodium oxide for every 20 Mars soil. And I even have to have water to do that with. And the only way that I get the water is... I get the water from recycling, and that should be in here. See, I created the stuff, now I gotta figure out how to play the game. to have water before I can... No, wait a minute. Where's the silicon dioxide? Oh, before I even get that, I've got to have sodium hydroxide, and before I get the sodium hydroxide, I've got to have water. So now I know I have to have water. Oh, something's wrong. I've got... Yeah, something's wrong with the soil again. Because I'm only supposed to have one of these. I think it's soils 1, and then on soil 3, I've got some other shit going on. But that's not right. I'll have to change that. Stuff that's created in those beds, unless in the atmosphere there's I can't collect it there. Pyrite you've got to have. Magnesium oxide must come from one of the rocks. I hate it when it does that. That's interesting. The only water he's going to be able to collect from is from his waste. That's 40 units of water. 40 units of water he gets. So 40 units. That's total 40 units of sodium oxide. This then has to be converted to here. And I'm going to use a unit of water to do that with. So 3 units gives me 6 units of sodium hydroxide. So that's 60 units of sodium hydroxide. And then again, 60 units of sodium hydroxide. Then once he gets that, I've got to figure out the he gets 10 Mars rock as 1 SiO2. Most of the silicon dioxide is in the rock, not in the soil, as well as the aluminum oxide. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, that's 6. 6 times 4 is 24. So he'll have enough to do 2 runs. Plenty of oxygen. Let's see what we got. I mean, that's been in there for like half a day already. So I can't do anything because I've got to have water. I don't have water. Oxygen and hydrogen. I could get oxygen out of the air. No, let's see. 100 would be... try something here. Well, it's the same amount. It's CO2. And I have to use sodium hydroxide for that too. I can't even do it. It uses... That's a ratio of 10 to 1 there. For the soil... It's not even listed. It should be 20 to 2 or whatever the hell, you know. 10 to 1 or 20 to 2. So if I go to the atmosphere and get 100 atmosphere, that leaves me 80 CO2, which gives me and I tried this before. 80 CO2. That's 160 oxygen. That's a 10 to 1 ratio. This is a 10 to 8. Oh yeah, see, it's more. it's the same, isn't it? It's 40% of SiO2. Okay, so if I do it 10 times and get 4 SiO2, that's 8 oxygen for 10 times. Here at 16, you get more oxygen out of the atmospheric machine. Okay, so I didn't do that timing check either, did I? I gotta figure this out. No water left. This bucket. Fuck my life. Alright. Let's go to our illustrious notepad and go to the config list, and we're going to go to the split, I think. No. Mars rock. Okay, 1, 2, and 3 had an issue. That says 20 to 1 of sodium hydroxide. Maybe it doesn't use as much to get the... I don't know, maybe I should make it a 2. Because I'm using 10 to 1. What the fuck, you know? Alright, I'm using water at the beginning. Then we use... That's 20 to... I'm using 4 units of sodium hydroxide. Oh god, I'm using a lot for that pyrite. I'll have to change that number to 10. And multiply everything by 10. This is a 0. Well, that's going to change something. This is a 10. That's a 1. 20. 20 units. 20. 10. 20 units of water. That doesn't make any sense. I shouldn't be getting that much water out of there. One. And 60 units of sulfur. Oh, I'm splitting the pyrite. I'm not drilling for it. I'm splitting it. Well, it doesn't matter because... Oh, that's not the drill. Where the hell is the drill? This is the splitting function. This is not the drill function. Fuck. I don't use sodium hydroxide for that. Oh, this should be water. Wait, this is split Mars rock. Where's the collecting of the pyrite? Jeez, I gotta put this down here. This is supposed to be it right here. Yeah, it says Oh, wait just a minute. Fuck. Why am I collecting the pyrite? Oh, you wait just a minute now. Something's fucked up here. Oh, I see it. It's in Split Mars Rock 3. I can't fucking see. Read what the hell I'm doing. Alright. See, I'm collecting it here, but I don't need sodium hydroxide. Mars soil, Mars atmosphere. This splitting pyrite should not even be in this section. It should be somewhere else. It's supposed to be in this area here. Put it in here. That's where it's supposed to go. And then we don't use that. Now this looks better. Now this is supposed to be a 5. No, this looks better. No, I don't even need that in there either. Okay, good. I've taken care of that. Now, I've got this other problem here. I've got sodium oxide again. I'm collecting calcium. Alright, this should be sodium hydroxide. Let's see here. Copy. Paste. And I don't really need to collect sodium hydroxide again. Not with that drill. Aluminum oxide, calcium oxide. What about magnesium oxide? Does that come from the soil? Probably. I've got it coming in at 50% on the rocks. Let's see what we look like here. Magnesium oxide is at 50% on the rock, or all 50, whatever. It probably should be magnesium oxide, aluminum. Oh, what about silicon dioxide? I got magnesium oxide only on the rocks. Okay. I got silicon dioxide here. Iron oxide is supposed to be in the rocks. It's at 20% on the rocks. 10 and 2. I get some there. Okay. Uh-oh. I've got a problem here. I'll figure this out in a minute. There's the water, there's that. Aluminum, calcium. Why not silicon dioxide in the soil? That's 10 to 1, that would be 20 to 2. I got it collecting here though. I'm collecting silicon dioxide everywhere. I got silicon and iron. I got calcium oxide here. I got calcium oxide in the rocks at 60%. I don't know. I don't see that I even need this number 3. Sodium, calcium, I don't even need this. So I've got 40% silicon dioxide. I've got, that's the soil. I got the correct percentage of aluminum oxide and that over there. Chlorine and all of that is correct here. Why am I collecting this twice? I don't need to, do I? I don't need to. I could just use water to collect the sodium oxide. Because eventually we'll be making a lot of water anyway, so let's take this out. What can I put in there for a replacement? I've got nickel and chlorine, probably iron in the soil though, but it's only 1% in the soil. I mean, I'm only gonna get I'm only gonna get, what the fuck? 6 times, I'm only gonna get 6 units of iron. It makes no sense at all. Calcium oxide, calcium. It only makes sense to put this in there. I mean, I could do calcium oxide, but actually calcium, well, I don't even know. I'm not using calcium in anything yet. That's supposed to be a catalyst for something. Magnesium does get used. Wait a minute, is that the only place I get chlorine? Well, see, we've got to get water now. How do I... So to get the water, I've got to do the waste recycle. I think everything is alright here. So I need water in the beginning. I get oxygen. There's no way to get hydrogen. There's absolutely no way to get hydrogen unless unless I split the hydrazine, which is legal. So where's the hydrazine? So I can split hydrazine. I've got to have an input of nitrogen. Where the hell do I get that? I don't need that much either. I don't need that much to get started. So then that's what I do. I've got to use the I have to use the liquid waste. Alright, so 660. That's 20 water. Wait a minute. I get ammonia out of this. 10. So I get 20 ammonia. Or actually, I get 10 ammonia. That's 10 nitrogen. I have to split ammonia. So I do that. I split the ammonia. And that gives me 10 nitrogen and 30 hydrogen. Then I take the 10 nitrogen, split the hydrazine, that will give me more ammonia. So then I will have another way to make water from ammonia and I'll have the hydrogen from the ammonia after I split it. And the oxygen from the CO2 from the atmosphere. I still have to have that toilet though. If I use the toilet, so if I was in that other game, I could have split the hydrazine. I could have split the ammonia and make the toilet later. Whereas here, I get my water. I'm only going to get 20 water. And 30 hydrogen. 30 hydrogen, H2O, that's 20 hydrogen, 20 water plus 20 water. So I'll have 40 units of water at the beginning. Then I use that water to drill my first sodium oxide. then I have to convert the sodium oxide to sodium hydroxide so I can drill the other shit. I can see that I've got to make that water bed. It just seems like I've got to get into this the trace elements. I'm going to need the trace elements. The magnesium sulfate, I'm going to need that. The only way to get that is to find pyrite. And I can't do that until I get the large thing built. Oh God. I've got no way to make the Epsom salt. The Epsom salt is in trace nutrient 2, which is required to make the fertilizer, which is required to make the methane bed. Oh, that's all on the 4. So I can't make the methane bed. I gotta have another way to make water. Magnesium sulfate, or no, I can't make it. So I have to make another. I have another way to make water. Now, methane. I'd have to split ammonia. I gotta write this shit down. So I gotta split ammonia. Split CO2. Now I could combine. That gives me like 60 water, and I can start drilling for shit, but wait, 120 ammonia. That's 360 hydrogen. CO2. 16 times 6, 96. So it's about 100. Well, that's 100 CO2. That's 200 oxygen. So if I want H2O, and I have to have twice as much, I'm short 40 hydrogen. So What is that? 200? 200 water. So in the splitting processes, I come up with 200 water. So in the beginning, in the very beginning, I only am going to have 600 units of water available for processing, and I have to use the hydrazine. This is how we do it. And I can't, there's no methane. Methane is CH4. There is carbon. I might be able to do it from the methane. That's so I have to create methane and then create the water and split it. Methane plus, I think it's CO2. So if I've got 600 units of water, the question is going to be I've got to make sodium hydroxide. Let's see, water is 4. I think that means I get 1,200 units of sodium hydroxide for drilling. And I have to drill for 90 days. I have to drill 90 cans. I have to drill out 90 cans. So 90 times 4. No. 6 times 4 is 24. It's 24 units per can. That's 2,160. I need 2,160 NOH, and I've only got about 1,200. If so, then the question is going to be if I will have enough material to make the large refinery, and I think I will. Once I get the large refinery built, that gives me access to See, I've got to be able to go back here. The large refinery allows me to find the pyrite to get the magnesium sulfate. That's the only place that I can find that? That doesn't make any sense. I gotta be able to get this magnesium sulfate somewhere else. Some representative output out of the ground. I'm guessing in the rocks. I got 5 there. I've got 4 here. It's 10 to 1 out of the rock. I don't need a lot of magnesium sulfate, do I? Trace nutrients. Wait a minute. All I do is make 1 Epsom salt from 1 magnesium sulfate, okay? And I only use 1 Epsom salt to make, I guess I've got 2 nutrients, 2 trace nutrients. Why is that a 2? Shouldn't that be a 1? You know, I think this should be a 1 here. This trace nutrient. It only makes sense to make that a 1. Trace nutrient 2 is a 1. Wow, this microbe fertilizer thing is going to take 10 times as long. Oh, because it's 10 up here. I don't know, those numbers are not right. I gotta work with those numbers still. Anyway, the Epsom salt is here. That's only 1 unit for... Oh, okay, so I use 1 unit there, so I use 10 units for 100, so that's like 10 Epsom salt. That's like 10 of the other, and that gives me 10 fertilizer. And each 1 fertilizer gives me 40 methane for 10 nutrients. I think I was gonna drop down something here, but I didn't. I think this is okay. Fuck. So it's 10. And that gets me like 200 ammonia and 400 methane. I mean, once I get that bed growing, then I'll have I'll have plenty of water and everything. So the problem is back on here, collecting the magnesium sulfate. So I was wondering about the soil. If I can get 10 units out of the soil, and I guess it wouldn't matter if it's which one. I gotta get it out of the soil somewhere. All three of these soils only use the small unit. Now the thing is, do I need to treat the water? Okay, so if I look at, I'm not worried about the drinking water yet. So if I look at, there's chlorine and water there, but I can use water here. And all of this nutrient production, and it doesn't need to be chlorined. So with that in mind, I'm thinking that what I can do is I can add this into here. I can add this into this one here. Now I've got my magnesium sulfate. It's 20 to 1. So it's only 10%. Most of the magnesium sulfate comes from where the pyrite locations are located. But as soon, okay, so this makes sense. This makes a lot of sense. Now, how many am I going to get? That's the problem. So now, I'm only going to get 6 units of magnesium sulfate. 6 units of chlorine. Six units of chlorine. God, I've got to use 3 units of chlorine just to treat holy shit. I wonder how much water you put in that damn machine. You know, we're gonna have to figure out how much water is used to fill up those bags. We're gonna have to put that in a sealed containment unit. What if I had the spaceship and a water cooler out there, and I took it inside? Then I'd still have to have the water thing to get the water. then I have to get the chlorine. Holy shit. Alright. Well, I don't care about treating the water. What I care about is the Epsom salt. So I get 6 Epsom salt. That gives me 6 trace nutrient 2s. That will give me 6 units of fertilizer. And then 6 units of fertilizer is all I need to get me like 240 methane. Okay, so then the methane and the CO2 will get me back to my water. So it's methane plus CO2 gets me my water. So MgSO4 gets, you have the large refinery, and I get that to make 6 fertilizer, and that yields me 240 methane, 200 ammonia, and 400 CO2. So once I get that first bed going, then I'll be able to make shitloads of water. I wonder if that's actually too much water, you know what? I think that's too much. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop this number down. I wonder if it should be 20. Maybe 10 on the hydrogen sulfide. And then for the water, alright, because I'm not using 2 fertilizer here, but if I got 6 fertilizer, that's going to get me 6 fertilizer is going to get me a net gain of I can't think. If I use 60 water, that's 120. It's a net gain of 60 water. I don't get any water out of this other process. And up here, 6 is going to get me 120 methane. I think that's better, you know what? And then then yeah, I think that's better. So now the problem back here is this NaOH. If I look at, I'm gonna look at this map again. There's 20% of that NaOH. And I use water to collect it. However, I double the NaOH or water, 1 water plus the NO sodium oxide gives me twice as much sodium hydroxide. So that's a net gain. And some processes will use 2. Like this process is going to use more drilling because of whatever. This one's not quite so bad. That one's not quite so bad. That one's, the atmospheric thing doesn't use that much. Oh, I do get some methane out of that, but I have to have the large machine to get it. Either way, I could have the large machine to get methane. So now for each can I get where the fuck is it here? 6. I get, oh, okay, so you know what, I may have enough. Instead of getting, I get 8, no, 8 times 6 is 48. I get 48 Na2H, 48 NaOH per day. So for 90 days. Oh, this is an excess. I only need 1200. Oh god, I got more than enough. I'm having a hard time seeing. 4 times 9 is 36, 72, 36, 36 and 7 is 43. So I'm going to have over 4,000 NaOH in 90 days. So I'll have plenty. So that means I can do 1 drill for NaOH if I go every 3 days and divide that number by 3, I'll have enough. So I can do 1 drill for that every 3 days. So that gives me the iron. Now if I look for the iron, I get So for 100 I get 20 iron oxide. That's 20 units a day. Eventually it'll be more than that. Eventually it'll be 40 if I get the MRTG going. So if I average 30 a day for 90 days, because eventually I should be able to be getting 40. So if I average 30 a day for 90 days, 0, 0, 3 times 9 is 27. I'll have 2,700. So I don't even have to do that. If I average 20, wait, let's see. If I do, so I've got 2 days of drilling materials and 1 day of drilling for the oil. So that's a total of 60 days of drill time at 20 iron a day. 2 times 6 is 12. That's 1,200. I can do it. I can freaking do it. Yeah, baby. That's it right there. $20 iron a day. But I gotta drill for my other materials too. I gotta drill for the aluminum oxide at the beginning. Which is actually, look at the difference here, you know what I mean? I mean, seriously, there's so much aluminum oxide. It's like 80%. You know, I almost think I got everything done. I got it all figured out here. I got the process that I need. I have to build that large, whatchamacallit, so if I go to my, oh shit, you know what? What the hell is in here? If I go to my web page and look for, I got a bookmark. I don't have a bookmark. It must be in my, it's in my notes. Well, it's not there either. Where the hell's my notes? Text file. Take on Mars, Mars 1. Resource mod. No. It's this one here. Alright, so let's go back to here. Here. So if you look at this list here, hopefully it doesn't tell you, fuck. The smaller refinery is 2 by 2 by 2. The large refinery is 4 by 3 by 3. You gotta be shitting me. That's what it says I need to do. Wait a minute. Before I do anything, let me go to my directory. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to grab my stuff here. Go down to here. CBU work 4. Alright, I want to see something, and I'm just going to go ahead and pack this stuff here, I think. Everything's done except the naming conventions. The timing still has to be checked on some of this stuff. Right now I just want to look at that printer. I might be able to just grab a scenario if I can figure out which one. Might be it's one that has the printer in it. I don't think it's that one. Okay, it's this one here. So what I'm going to do is I want to look at the parts in that printer, and this won't take that long. We're gonna actually start playing this game a lot sooner than I was thinking, I hope. Let's see if I can get in here. Alright, so if I look at the large refinery, now see, that number looks different. They said length, width, and height. They said 4 by 3 by 3. So if it's 0.9, if it's 0.1 meters off, then you've got to go the next size up. I just don't know. That's what I don't know. I had to take practically a whole day just to build this other thing. Oh, what's the materials? 150 iron to build that. 20, 40, 60, 80. Huh. That's like 2 weeks. I gotta drill for 2 weeks before I can build this thing. And then even still, I have to build this. Oh my god, that's 20 units for each one of these parts. Most of that stuff the iron is already available in the startup kit, which is a good thing. So that'll be interesting. That's the floor. 20, 40, 60, 20, 40, 60, 20, 60. I think it can be done. It says length, width, and height. Oh, that's a large one. The solar panel, though. The width has to be 4 units. That's really small. It's just the parts, though. It's gonna take 90 days before because I gotta build the other thing. Interesting. This game is gonna be interesting when I get it started. Actually, well, I still gotta figure out some shit, don't I? Damn. Let me see something here. I wanted to find out about the timing on my other stuff. If I can do it here. time is going pretty fast on this one. I don't know. I don't know what it's set at. Now, so I thought, oh shit, I can't. What am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to get the. Oh shit, something's big and something's really wrong. None of the changes I made are showing up. Is that because... Didn't I pack it? Maybe I didn't pack my mod. I packed my mod. Oh, maybe I packed it, but I didn't add it into the game. Shit. Let me just go back out. I must not have added it. Yeah, I didn't add it. That's why. I gotta look into the way to frickin' transfer the water from methane. I really wanted to check the timing. Oh, this is at 160. Holy fuck. This thing's moving right along. So the question is on this, will the stuff still get made at the same time? I'm gonna put this drilling rig up here somewhere. Oh, God. can't do anything with this because I don't have chlorine. Isn't that right? I have to have chlorine. See, I can't do anything. I can't get water out of that unless I have chlorine. So the only way to get water if I have that in that storage unit. So the only way I can make water I gotta go see something. What is that? Iron 1? That's synthesis. I'm just about done here. No, wait a minute, it's not. Wait a minute, it's split? Oh my fucking god, I don't know. Maybe it's in that other thing. Must be in the synthesis. Oh, you know, there's a problem. I can't use that. I can't use that. I don't see it in here. I can't use that scenario. Whoa, what the hell? Oh, I'm in the wrong mod here. That might help. Split iron 1. I wanted to test that. Why am I looking at it? Iron is in that can. And I could go look and see if there's magnesium in there. Just shove this in here. Alright, so let's see what we got here. Are these all the empties? I think so. There ain't very many empties in there. What is that? That's iron. Alright, so we're just gonna split iron 1. It's 1530 hours. That's iron. God, I could create a process and just make water that way, couldn't I? Like, as in reclaim the water from... But then, well, yeah, I could actually do that. I could say, okay, well, they made a mistake when they sent me out to Mars. Instead of putting a canister of iron in it, they put water in there. I don't know what's the time. So 1630. That's already 1 hour. And it's gone. This is supposed to take. This is only supposed to take about 2 hours. That's too slow. Anyway, let's go in and see what's in here. That's aluminum. Aluminum. What are those empties? Unknown. Okay, that's really strange. There's silicon. I've got an unknown in here. Silicon, aluminum, iron. And I got that other thing figured out. Why do I have an unknown? God only knows, right? I'm gonna call it quits off of here. I don't know why there's an unknown.